What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, tragedy struck Berlin Township, Michigan yesterday. And this is a story you got to see to believe, man. I mean, I got to give you a warning. This story is horrific. This occurred at the Swan Boat Club in Berlin Township, Michigan, where children were having a birthday party and a drunk driver plowed into the side of the building while the children and adults were inside celebrating the party. 15 victims were injured, one adult and two children. Ages of the children are 8-year-old girl, 5-year-old boy, supposedly siblings, and one adult, from what I've read, has died so far. The driver of the car drove the car 25 feet into the building, inside of the building. So they were going at a high rate of speed. It's a children's party. And several children lost their lives, including one adult. As it's saying up here, they said up to 3 children and 6 adults were taken to area hospitals by 2 helicopters and ambulances with life-threatening injuries. Take a look at this story and we'll be right back. The driver was a 66-year-old woman who was drunk. Take a look.
Central Dispatch on the air, Berlin Fire Response Party 1 to Swan Creek Boat Club. A vehicle went through the building. It's a child's birthday party. We have several people on the ground, as well as several children injured, possibly one pinned underneath the vehicle.
The vehicle struck the north wall of the facility, entering the building, and came to rest approximately 25 feet inside the building.
Be advised, it sounds like we have a 4-year-old trapped underneath the vehicle.
First aid was provided to approximately 15 victims, which included adults and young children.
Can you see if you can put a helicopter on standby?
Rival flight on standby.
Clear. And start a second helicopter.
Unfortunately, in tragedy, 2 of the victims were pronounced deceased at the scene. This includes an 8-year-old female and a 5-year-old male, who are siblings of each other.
They have a mass casualty incident, several people injured. Priority 1 response.
Tragedy during a child's birthday party. 2 siblings are dead after a driver crashed into the Swan Boat Club in Newport, Michigan. With more than a dozen people hurt, many have life-threatening injuries. Taking a look at this video now, moments before the crash, where you can see an SUV speeding by the house and then continuing down the road. Water is spraying up from the tires as it heads towards the boat club, and then just out of view you can see the impact as it crashes into the building. We have live team coverage tonight with our Laura Sandlin tracking what we're learning about the driver behind the crash. But first, we need to speak with Andre Norrells, who has the latest updates from the Monroe County Sheriff. Andre, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Tatiana, this is what we know so far. There are 15 victims from that car crash earlier, and it has been confirmed that 2 children died on the scene because of it. Take a look at some of this video that we shot earlier. As you can see, a really active scene. According to Monroe County, crews were dispatched to the boat club around 3 this afternoon after a car crashed into the building during a young boy's birthday party. 3 children and 6 adults were transported to nearby hospitals with serious life-threatening injuries, and additional victims took themselves to the hospital. The 2 children who died were siblings, an 8-year-old girl and a 5-year-old boy. No more information on the children has been released yet. We were at a press conference earlier led by Monroe County Sheriff's Department. Not only did I see people in attendance getting emotional, but also the sheriff. This is what he had to say about what the scene was like when crews first arrived.
At this time, investigators are continuing the process, evidence at the scene, identify victims, interview witnesses, and reunite family members. The scene was described by the first responders as extremely chaotic, with high level of emotions of those directly involved, and those who witnessed this horrific incident.
Now, as the sheriff just said, this is still an active investigation. So as more information comes into our newsroom, we'll be sure to keep you updated on air and online at WTOL.com. Reporting in Monroe County, Andre Knowles, WTOL 11.
The Swan Boat Club did post this on the Facebook page saying, and quote, there was a terrible accident at Swan today with many injuries and much damage to the pavilion. Please keep all the people and families in attendance in your prayers, end quote. The business says it will be closed tomorrow. And to get a look at what exactly happened moments before the crash, as well as the charges the woman behind the wheel is facing tonight, we turn to our Laura Sandlin. Now she is live outside of the boat club. Laura, what can you tell us?
Tatiana, I'm on scene where a 66-year-old woman drove her car into the Swan Boat Club during a children's birthday party. Earlier today, I spoke with a neighbor who lived next door to the club who showed us video of the woman speeding past the home and into the building. Screaming could be heard after the car stopped 25 feet into the building, according to law enforcement. The neighbor says that he went to investigate and immediately called police. Officers say that they have shut down Verna's Tavern, where it's speculated that the driver was before the crash only 7 minutes away. There's currently an ongoing investigation.
We have information that she may have been there, yes.
Are they being investigated?
We went in, we shut the business down, and we're in the process of executing a search warrant for information as to their business conducted at that day.
The Monroe County Sheriff Troy Goodenough says that the individual is currently in police custody for operating while intoxicated, causing death. We were told that the female cooperated on scene and that additional criminal charges are expected. Reporting in Monroe County, Laura Sandlin, WTOL 11.
All right, guys, while you were taking a look at that, I confirmed 2 children are dead. It's not a third adult. At the initial time, a third adult was airlifted out of there. So 3 people were airlifted. The adult, on one of these articles, you got to just keep reading to see how it comes together. The third adult did not die. But they said a total of 15 victims. They said 9 people were taken to the hospital, to area hospitals. 3 were children, 6 were adults. You know, a birthday party, especially for kids, is the time of celebration, having fun, and, you know, just showing appreciation for children. To have somebody who was drunk and irresponsible with taking these drinks drive directly into a place, you know, a happiness and celebration, it's totally messed up. And nobody's seen it coming. If you go and look at the pictures of where she drove through, there were no windows for people to warn each other. They were saying that it was a child stuck up under the car. Horrific. I mean, God only knows the amount of emotion. They said there wasn't a lot of emotion going into seeing this type of carnage happen, whether it's accidental or not. This woman, 66 years old, she should have known better than to be drinking and then getting behind the wheel. For countless years, they've been showing commercials, drink and drive responsibly. And her act of irresponsibility cost a lot of people their lives. And a horrific turn of event for anybody that ever wants to go to a birthday party or celebrate a birthday after that. This one act of irresponsibility by this woman can cause a ripple effect that will affect these people for years to come. A lot of counseling and a lot of, you know, just building themselves back up. 2 children are lost. 9-year-old girl, an 8-year-old girl, and a 5-year-old boy, brothers and sister, siblings, probably sitting together eating cake. Or this is heartbreaking, y'all. It is. May these children rest in peace, and may these people find some type of I just wish them the best of luck, man. Just getting their lives back in order. This is something that you're just speechless. How do you come back from this? I mean, just imagine what the mother and father are going through if they're not one of the people hospitalized right now at the loss of their babies. This is a perfect example of when people make their problems your problems. I don't know what this woman was thinking when she was drinking, if she was going through something herself. But if you look at that video, she drove like she was still on the road. So I think, from my opinion, that the way that this happened, the way I conceive it, is the road turned and she kept going into that parking lot thinking she was still driving in a straight line. And this woman went at a high velocity of speed, high rate of speed, at least 40 miles an hour, for her to drive that truck, that car, that SUV, to go 25 feet inside of a building after getting hit by the wall itself, the structure itself, the foundational structure. She's lucky she's alive. And not just from the crash, but from them parents in there. Because I don't know anybody in their right mind that would have let that woman live before the EMTs got there after such carnage she delivered. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. According to Michigan law, or the law of that county, it says that she faces a fine of $10,000 and 15 years imprisonment. She'd get all that and more if it was up to me. I'm just saying. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.